There is currently a loadout in the battle bricks that can complete levels so fast, so quickly and efficiently that most stages in this game can be destroyed by it in almost a minute. Now, what is this desecrating, devastating is this? Here's what I like to call the rush hour strat, because it basically all revolves around dual speed, chairman, and the detonator. These three are used to speed up stage completion, and the remaining slots are used to counter any stage-specific stuff like a hazard or an enemy. These three slots and the cannon are your choice. The other five all work together to create the rush hour loadout. But why do these units work so well together? Let's check each one individually first. Dual Speed is one of a new player's favorite units, simply because it deals high damage, moves incredibly quickly, quick recharge, and it defends itself after attacking by pushing the enemy and itself away, all for the cost of 400 bucks. Being unlockable pre-Chapter 2 is another factor. Chairman being an Uber makes it pretty busted. Costing $500 with an 8-second recharge speed does make it the less spammable of the duo, but it does make up for the fact it deals constant group knockback, protecting itself from slow melee units, practically stunning them, while also having higher HP. It also has a way faster attack speed and gets faster the less HP it has. Finally, upon reaching the 50% HP threshold, it increases its splash radius even further. Ninja is a ranged unit used to kill pesky high damaging ranged units, stopping your duo from advancing. It has 162 DPS on level 30 due to him throwing 3 stars per second. If an enemy dies after 1 to 2 stars, the remaining shurikens will travel to the next enemy. It also has high speed like the duo, allowing you to keep up with them, also being cheaper than both by 100 to 200.
Kaboom!
Motorbike and Dynamite Battler, Bomber's alternate form, since I don't want to say the actual name just in case, are both quick nukers here, helping to clean hordes or destroying the enemy base. Motorbike is less potent, leading it to being used for piles of weakened enemies, while Dynamite is used for large crowds and base destruction. Motorcyclist is the most tankiest unit out of the rush hour loadout, so it's best to use him as your, tank. Finally, we have the Detonator, a bank that increases your enemy bounty heavily, but putting you on a 1-minute timer to complete a stage. Fret not, since you're allowed 8 upgrades to stall it out, giving you 5 minutes instead, with the cost about 14,000 bucks. Everything else is up for you to decide. Make sure to grab units that counter the stage enemy that might prove to be an issue, and a cannon for pure damage or money, not stall like one such as the Recoil or Slammer. These 5 plus the Detonator creates the Rush Hour deck in its full glory. These units are all incredibly quick, and they all fall into the Rusher category, units to speed in front of others to keep the frontline pressure on. However, a loadout mainly comprised of them only allows you to rush the enemy's base and kill units before they start stacking up and working together. With the help of the Detonator's insane enemy bounty increase, you can continue to keep the pressure on as long as you keep the bloodshed going. Eventually, their force field will fall and you're already at their base, leading to an easy victory for you. Dual Speed and Chairman are your bread and butter for this loadout, since they're the ones mainly keeping the front line. You should be spamming them to dish out heavy damage to every enemy at the front line. Chairman will last a longer time and disrupt their front lines better than Dual for only $100 extra, but is slower. At the start, it's better to place a Dual Speed to stop the enemy's units as soon as possible. Your Ninja is used to deal with ranged units covered by meat shields. Ideally, this shouldn't happen, as Speedy should reach the enemy fast enough to prevent this, but sometimes it can't keep up with the enemy. Its speed, DPS, and cheap cost should allow it to prevent the meat shields from stacking up too much and give your Chairman the entry to the back liners. Don't forget to give it meat shields too, since it can't survive well alone. Stacking ninjas can also be useful as a method to stop meat shield stacking from occurring once again in the same stage. Motorcyclists and Dynamite are used as a shutdown button. If the enemy managed to counter your Dual Speed and Chairman and are starting to build up a good defense, chuck either one of these out to reset them back to square one. Motorcyclists can be used to tank for Dual Speed and Chairmans if you need to stack up more of them, or the enemy's DPS are just a bit too high for your liking right now. Dynamite is an end-all be-all. 1000 damage at level 30 to wipe out the front line clean, and highly useful for speeding up base destruction. Don't forget that stages later on have enemy cycles that usually take above a minute, so keep at least $500 for a detonator renewal. Ideally, every stage should only require a level 3 detonator upgrade maximum if they really held you back for that long. Otherwise, I think you should just forfeit and try again. In reality, this setup doesn't even need the detonator. In the background, I decided to use investments since it was a boss stage and still won. To be fair, it wasn't a fast win, but a win nonetheless. Remember to use those 3 unit slots to good use. Better check the enemy list for ways to counter deadly units or to just end the stage even faster. This strat works well for stages that spawn a lot of weak enemies, stages that try to rush you at the start with units which you can kill for some easy detonator money, stages that have tanky enemies since they usually give you a truckload of cash on their death, and stages without any stunning, tripping, or scary mechanics. And also stages that have short distances, or lengths, or whatever you call it. Now the strat does fall off at higher stars. The only reason the strat works in the first place is because you're killing the enemies so quickly that the detonator basically gives you an infinite cash pool. However, higher stars makes your units cost more and basically kills the chance of this working. Higher star levels wants you to stall longer and possibly make more mistakes for that extra time that you're waiting for, and will not mess around with your rush hour strat, giving you no money to work with and leaving you helpless with the detonator's horrible passive income. Excluding that, however, you can basically beat any stage in the game with not much sweat. Even tumor mode can't stop your onslaught, well, until you get to the bosses. This strat is stupidly good, and I think it's pretty common knowledge actually. Speed is used by every new player ever and is recommended by every commenter ever. And Dynamite used to have a broken XP grinding method on Bomb Rush. Motorcycle and Chairman are both anti-red units, so you could get both of them from the same gacha, and Ninja is relatively easy to get. Really, the main issue is getting lucky and the detonator, only unlocked after chapter 2. After that, you can have fun with the strategy and beat the hell out of the enemy. And for why I called this strat Rush Hour, you probably got the joke already. For those who haven't, you got 5 rushers in your loadout, and you're on the clock because of the detonator. Plus the Chairman's a manager. Get it? No one's laughing? Not funny? Okay, I'll see myself out. Roll outro!